Hello and welcome everyone in another episode of Researcher Celebrity powered by Empowering Science Foundation. Today we have Dr. Sukanya Madhwal with us. Dr. Sukanya has done her bachelor's in life sciences from Gadwal University and pursued master's in biotechnology from Banasthali Vidyapeeth, Rajasthan. Then she moved to pursue her dreams and accomplished the PhD from INSTEM Bangalore, and presently she is a postdoc at University of Pennsylvania, United States. Welcome, Sukanya, and
Uh,
thank you for taking time.
Thank you so much, Raja, for the invitation and for this wonderful opportunity to share my experiences on this wonderful platform. And I'm really looking forward to this conversation with you.
Thank you very much for those kind words. And let's start the conversation with the question that how and when you decided that you wanted to be a researcher.
So yeah, if I look back and go to my childhood, so it was not actually pre-planned or decided like this way that I wanted to do research and become a researcher in biological sciences field. And actually, if I frankly say at the time, life goal used to change every year for me. But yes, I do remember that since my childhood, like most children are, I have been keen observer of nature and living organisms around us. But later, during my schooling days, specifically when I was in 11th and 12th grade, were a turning point in my journey to understand biology itself. And Dr. Preeti Khanduri, one of my biology teachers at the time, had a big influence on me. She used to teach us with such a passion, and she used to literally put a lot of effort in teaching us in a simpler and more interactive way. And that fascinated me a lot, and it literally drove me to explore and study more and more. And also it was at that time that I realized that I'm gaining deeper interest in biology more than any other subjects. And if I may recall now, I used to get fascinated by every topic in bio, like, for example, learning how various living organisms or animals evolved and coexisted and coexisting still on this planet, living planet Earth, and how each individual, ranging from a simple to a more complex system, performs almost flawlessly with different machinery within them. Further, learning about how smallest living unit, a cell, it is governed and coded by even further smaller molecular entities like DNA and RNA. It overall used to thrill me. And yes, I do remember that after studying and reading and gathering more and more information about each topic, I used to share all the details and insights and describe them to my mother, my friends, and my juniors. And so yes, in nutshell, after getting inspired and impacted by my biology teacher and assessing my own interest and potential, I decided to continue my education further after schooling, and I pursued bachelor's degree in my hometown itself, in Kotdwar, where I opted subjects like botany, geology, chemistry, and biotechnology. Thereafter, I went ahead to do master's degree in biotechnology from Banasthali Vidyapeeth in Rajasthan. And also during those college years, I also got the opportunity to do several internships in pharmaceutical company and a few research institutes in India. And those internships gave me the chance to closely observe and understand how a research team and lab function, and also what a daily routine of a researcher looks like. So yes, after masters, my decision smoothly transitioned to further move ahead and to go for further research and actually learn how to investigate unanswered questions in the field, and which would ultimately result into further advancement in the field. So, so with that intent, I joined a PhD program at National Center for Biological Science, NCBS, and Institute of Stem Cell Science and Regenerative Medicine in STEM, after clearing JGBIL's entrance exam, which was conducted by NCBS and TFR. And yes, then like after actually entering into the PhD, I happened to attend Dr. Tina Mukherjee's orientation talk. And at the time, she had actually newly joined as a faculty at INSTEM. And it was at the time when during her talk, she explained how the blood system of a tiny organism called Drosophila has been extensively studied and investigated in recent years, and how it can be utilized to address many unanswered questions about blood cell development and function. So overall, I was enthralled by this field of research, and it was also the first time when I learned about Drosophila, which is commonly known as fruit fly, a tiny insect itself, as a model system for studying immunity. So I joined Dr. Tina Mukherjee's group at INSTEM and worked during my PhD and completed my PhD under her supervision. And then after my PhD, I took a little bit few months time to like further understand what is my calling or what I want to do next. I had always been interested in teaching, so I was like contemplating whether to go ahead directly with teaching or like further explore this thrill of doing research. So with that, like taking time and contemplating, I got hugely like motivated and like, so I explored by myself also like what I want to do. But at the same time, my PhD guide, Dr. Tina Mukherjee, also like gave me insights that you can go ahead and pursue postdoc in a different scenario out of your comfort zone, and that will give, still after that also you can go ahead with teaching, or if things change or your interest change, you can move ahead with research or join industry. So keeping all your options open, why don't you like go ahead with postdoc? So I contemplated, and then I also contacted a lot of my seniors at that time, and all of them gave me wonderful advices and gave me and shared their interests and their journey with me. And overall, like that further gave me like clear paths that like what to do. And I will definitely like mention one of my seniors name here, Dr. Rajesh Gunage. He's currently in Professor John's lab at Harvard. So he was instrumental in terms of like guiding me further, like how to prepare for it and how to apply and what is the whole procedure ahead. So yeah, so then I went ahead and did all my research further, that what is my interest and where I want to go ahead. And then finally with the few rounds of like applications and interviews, I like finalized to opt for my postdoc here at University of Pennsylvania in Professor Amita Sehgal's lab. Her lab works on circadian rhythm and sleep. So I'm quite interested, and it's been 2 months here since I joined, and yeah, I'm looking forward for my postdoctoral journey now.
Nice. So with this research experience of PhD and jumping to postdoctoral research, moving countries is something which nowadays people do start talking about. So how are you now? You said it's just been 2 months. How United States is treating you?
Oh yeah, it's I will say that it is it is a mixed feeling right now for me. And but definitely I feel now comfortable, like after spending 2 months. And I now feel that it was a good decision that I moved here, because moving totally to a different country, it's a huge difference. And it literally make oneself to come out of their comfort zone. And I had literally been otherwise shelled in my comfort zone in the place like where I was doing my PhD, and overall in India. So I would say that yes, it was right decision coming out of the comfort zone and exploring a different environment totally, and meeting different new peoples, and then exploring further, like starting from scratch itself, like where you would first like make for yourself a niche, and then from there on you start looking ahead with your research, with your work, with your new environment, connecting to them. So overall it is quite enthusiastic journey right now, and it took me time, like this much 2 month time. I got like settled, adapted, and now I'm prepared. So in that terms, I will say it is yeah, United States is treating me nicely in that way overall.
So because it's not a lot of time when you have experienced the research part of here very extensively. So talking about the PhD, how was the experience? And if there are incidences which you want to share with our viewers, because here at Researcher Celebrity, we try to give a 360-degree angle of view for a researcher who's trying to consider research as their career for the lifetime.
Yeah, so with my own experience, I will say that yeah, like any other PhD scholar's journey, my journey also had included highs and lows, and it was a struggling phase in between so many times. So and like if I start from the beginning itself, when we entered, and we need to like make a right balance between coursework and lab, and we like need to complete the credits and all. So the first year for me had been quite challenging to make that right balance. Once I had completed that, and during that time itself, we get like our rotations, like we used to get 3 rotations, like in 3 different labs we used to choose, and based on our research interest and overall, and then getting exposed to lab environment there, and from close by seeing the research, how it is happening, and then overall making the decision that which particular lab would be more suited. So so that was also going on at the same time. Coursework and all was also going on. So it was that first year was a tough time in that sense to make a right balance. After that, once that had passed further, so then like completely focusing on the research in the lab, and looking ahead for learning new things in terms of like how overall research goes on, in terms of like first finding question within the research field that what you want to pursue. Then after that, once that is figured out, then chasing like designing the experiments, and then getting exposed to that scenario when so many experiments doesn't work. Like most is they will fail. Sometimes you will get positive results, but then further you need to like hold on and try more and more times to further explore. So all those positive and negative results, and that used to literally like change or influence our whole day also. Like if result, like overall experiment results are going good, it used to feel good, but when it is not going well, it used to literally make us low and negative and all. So all those going through with those upheavals further on, and then I think after that the time comes when like compiling all the work and then going ahead with the publication. So in my journey, because I have been the first student of my PhD guide and the lab PhD student, so that was a tough time in terms of like first paper going ahead, and that the reviewing process took time, in my case a longer time. So maintaining in that particular challenging scenario, maintaining the patience and calm, and still pursuing ahead, and like fighting ahead in terms of doing experiments, and even addressing the concept wise various questions. So that was a learning phase, I would say. And it literally, like personally also, overall time frame of PhD teaches us a lot. It builds our personality in terms of making us more patient, more and like used to increase more endurance, resilience. And so yeah, and then like maintaining overall the positive attitude with all those challenges throughout. So I think in this whole like mixed experiences holds every PhD scholar's journey, and my journey also have been like this. More toughest phase, I will say the last phase, where publication and fighting, like performing the experiments and fighting and not losing the interest and hope ahead in terms of completing the last bit. That was challenging. And yes, so that I would literally say to all the upcoming scholars that will be the overall challenge. And yes, but maintaining positive attitude throughout is essential. It's tough, but it's essential to then further go ahead.
Yeah, that is great. And as you said, it is absolutely the most important part, that never give up, because researchers never give up. They perform the same experiment throughout the year without fail. Like sometimes they get the results what they want, sometimes it's just opposite way. So Sukanya, you said that you were the first student of your PhD supervisor.
Yes.
When you were taking this decision, because now a researcher, see if somebody has just done masters and starting considering to join a lab, when given choices, you had a rotation system. Still, you chose a PI who is the fresh, and you will be the first PhD student. What were the thoughts which you considered and finalized?
Yes, it's a very important question, and it would be useful and for upcoming scholars also, I think. In my case, yes, I also had been contemplating a lot when I had the option of like to choose the new fresh lab, or to go for already established one. So there are both, I think, advantages and at the same time disadvantages of choosing both a fresh lab and a established lab. In terms of a fresh lab, what I saw for myself, so I was quite interested with the overall question and overall kind of work what my PI had proposed and had aimed for doing in her lab. So that was the main thrilling point for me, which was a major driving force for me. In addition to that, other thoughts or other points which I had considered for myself is that if I would be joining a new lab, I would be learning so many other things, like how new fresh lab is being managed, how other aspects of a lab functions, and I would get a chance to get trained in that way also. So that was the second point I had considered for myself. And yes, the negative point were that because it would be a new lab, you would not have any seniors to go approach them, and those feedback. So those inputs you would be missing. But like overall, I decided that it's okay. I will go ahead. I will directly go to my PI, or I will go to other seniors in other labs, and I will approach them. And yes, it was tough in terms of, because it will be more, if it is a new lab, it will be more like it will be in a more faster pace of working. So that obviously I had realized and faced also. Yes, I had looked into the other aspect, that I'm getting trained and I'm getting benefited with other aspects. So with that, I felt that it was a right decision. And in terms of like getting inputs and all, I was like approaching other seniors in other nearby lab, because it was a open system, mixed lab culture system. So just next to me used to sit like several seniors, so just like close by. So I was getting, and like who had been working with the same like fly system, and so I was getting all the insights with them from them. But yes, it was challenging, and one should like properly weigh what they think in their mind, that what would be good for them, and based on like first assessing all of that, and then making a checklist, or like weighing all of those positive points, what they think that they would be getting in that particular lab, and what they want for themselves. One should go based on that. And yeah, I also went based on that.
Here, actually, what Dr. Sukanya has said, and this will be very helpful for all the seekers who are like thinking or considering PhD as their next task. Before joining a lab, you have to do the analysis, all the pros and cons. If you're going to join an established lab, as Sukanya mentioned a lot about it, and if you're going to join a freshers, like if a PI is just starting, both of them have their own pros and cons. In someone where you have all the seniors for your guidance and everything, there the scope for you to learn by yourself is little bit reduced. But if you know that there is no one to tell you to do that, so you do more reading, you are more conscious, because you know that you are the one who will be doing all the troubleshooting by yourself and your PI. So you do all that analysis before committing to a lab, because after that commitment, as Sukanya has already achieved her PhD, and now she is successfully enjoying her research in the United States. Nothing can be smooth in research, that is for sure. There will always be ups and downs. Mostly you can say it depends on how your attitude is. If you see ups as like something which worked, it's your thing. If you see up as something which is not worked, and still you have that attitude, that positive attitude, that okay, I might have missed something, and tomorrow I'll repeat it with more judicious way. That's how. So then you only have ups, then you don't have downs. So Sukanya, when the things were not working for you, what was your attitude towards the experiments?
So when things were not working, so I was like kept on like questioning that whether how I'm doing, whether it is like rightly I'm doing. So those questions were coming, and most of the times, like when I was going back and then troubleshooting, I was finding ways that okay, I was doing that mistake there and all. And yes, and then like it was more of like need to do this, further need to do that to get like previously we had not done that particular new experiment that need to be done. So there was like a lot of new experiments at the same time, like finish like refining the previous one. So with both, I was like first used to like contemplate where I need to like perfect things or find things, and then like putting myself, and then working hard in terms of like completing other new experiments on the way. So yes, and with that, it when like other aspect, like when experiments use like if suppose experiments are not working, so sometimes it also used to be the thing that I need to like stop here and just not do anything for few days, like not like I could not have taken like longer time gap, but like few days just stop and just not do anything and take a break basically, and then go back. So it was like more of a getting saturated, and most of the times, and getting saturated, and then like when I was like putting myself off from that situation, and then like taking a break and freshly then going back, then I used to see things clearly. Okay, there this was a mistake, or I was not analyzing it properly, and it was all there. I could not find it, or I could not search it, and it was all there. So with that fresh outlook, I think after taking a small break, it used to give new insight. So yeah, I think I used to do that.
Nice. And I believe this is something which all the researchers have in their mind, but sometimes they just forget to take those breaks and rejuvenate themselves and then come back again. And as you said, sometimes it is just there, just because you're so saturated, you don't analyze it the way you do after that break with the fresh break.
Yes. And even if like you are burned out or you're saturated, you do mistakes. A lot of mistakes are being done, which you will not do if like you are with a fresh mind and not that burned out. So then it will smoothly move ahead. So yeah, right.
Absolutely. And this is something which I have been known, like so many researchers. Sometimes they say that after 6 p.m. or after 7 p.m., if I do anything, it is not going to work because I'm so exhausted and tired. By that time, I make those silly mistakes which I will never make with the fresh mind. So this is also one of the important part.
I will also add here that like I had like 2.5 of time frame during my whole PhD. So earlier when I like freshly joined and like 1 or 2 or 3 years, like 2, I think I would say, that time my schedule timing like of working hours was totally messed up. I used to work late hours till late hours, and used to like come back early also, and sometimes little late. So I would say that was a little messed up timing, but later in my PhD I had corrected it, and like I had like used to come early in the morning and used to go early, so that definitely gave me a nice more disciplined way of performing things, doing experiments and all, and managing overall. So I felt that the other where I was like more disciplined, it was more productive also for me. So I would definitely like convey this, that like if from the very beginning, if PhD students would realize that one should have a proper nice routine of like working early and finishing early, and then taking a nice like break, not like working late hours. So definitely that would I will convey that.
And this is the package which comes with PhD. As Sukanya just said, that everyone does that. Initial 1 to 3 years, they just think that if they'll do 12 hours, 16 hours, the PhD will be smoother. But after the realization that it is not about the number of hours you are working, it is about the quality you are working, then everybody realized that, okay, 8 hours is more productive than 16 hours if you are more focused, if you have managed your time, if you know that within the incubation you can do another experiment or set up something else, and then you combine everything, you actually see that your productivity in 8 hours is way more than 18 hours sometimes, because initially you are new to lab, and this is something which everyone has to walk through. Even if Dr. Sukanya says or anyone else says, you'll still do that. It is fine. But the point is how much you can reduce. Enjoy
and how early you can understand that and change it.
Yes, absolutely. So Sukanya, when this PhD was happening, the research was going in its own way, and you have done it from NCBS in STEM. In elite institutes in India, people do talk about pressure. People do talk about mental health. People do talk about dropping out PhD students after 3 years, after 4 years. Have you ever felt of losing that you want to quit PhD?
Yeah, I mean, frankly, if I say, I never thought, like it never came to my mind that I need to quit. Like instances have come when struggling times were there, and like a lot of tough times were there. But I mean, I've never felt that. Maybe because like I had been a very like persistent person, or a kid also, like in my childhood also. I remember that if we need to fix a tap, like non-functional tap, I would like give my 100% and like keep on doing it, and till the time it get fixed. So yeah, and so with that quality, I think, or if like it never occurred to me that I need to leave. It was like, okay, it will take time. I will keep taking time and I will finish it. So yeah, strangely, for me, even though tough times were there, but it never came or occurred to me that I need to, yeah. I don't know if more challenges would have come, if they would have made me to think more. So I don't know, but yeah, tough times were there, but yeah, I never.
No, this is something which I would like to ask all our viewers and audience, all the researchers. There will be always tough time in research. And this is not only research, tough time will be always in life also. And that is the reason why we do talk about that PhD trains you for your lifetime. It gives you all of that, what it takes to be a happy person, a successful one. As Dr. Sukanya said, that there were tough times, but she was so determined. This determination is something which always keeps you above that water level. And for the people who feel that they want to step out, the only thing which I want to mention here is that in order to succeed, your desire for success must be greater than the fear of losing. You might lose it, yes.
Yeah.
But if you know that you love something way more than not focusing on what you are going to lose, you will succeed, as Dr. Sukanya is in now enjoying the United States as of now. So it is snowing and it was never snow in Bangalore. How is this environmental factor what you are
Yes, yes, I will share that. So I'm doing my postdoc in Philadelphia in East Coast. So here, in particular, in this particular city, snow I will face like little bit only. So I'm missing that. But yeah, here extreme cold also comes, and extreme. I have heard that extreme high temperature also will come in summers. Yeah, in Bangalore, if I like compare it with the Bangalore at the best weather, I will say. It was all throughout pleasant weather. But yeah, the place from where I come is Uttarakhand, and there I had faced all four like weather. Some extreme summer, winters, autumn, spring, and all. So I'm prepared with that. But here, yeah, definitely I would admit that it is more intense, like winters would be more harsh. Yeah, so but I'm excited to face that snow phase also at the same time. So yeah, I'm excited to see that.
absolutely. This excitement should always be there. Either it is research or it is, going and exploring a new country, meeting new people, and experiencing something which you haven't experienced. Because this is the part of the personality. If you have that attitude, and that's the reason why we have these conversations at Researcher Celebrity, that every person is different from any other one. And that's what makes them unique, their personality, their behavior. One thing which is required in research is that persistence, as Dr. Sukanya said. If you're persistent, nothing can stop you. Experiments failing is something which is inevitable. It will happen. But your passion about it, your determination for your research question, and your willingness that you want to contribute to society, because nowadays people do talk about translational health, and they want to perform experiments which can benefit as quick as to the society, so that they can see their work. Because in initial days when basic science was happening, it used to take 10 or 20 years for something from lab to society. But COVID has taught us this, and everyone has just seen and faced this also, that within a year you get vaccine now. So Sukanya, coming back to this part of research, when there is a pressure of translational, okay, you are doing something and it should be made into a product, develop, and then do all the commercialization. What are your thoughts about this high-end research fight?
Yeah, I think both are equally important. Be it basic research and translational or applied research, because when advancement in basic research will happen, only then it will smoothly turn, or like directly in less time will turn into translational research. For example, if we talk about COVID, for assessing for detecting the virus, the whole diagnostic tool which was utilized is based on RT-PCR, and its discovery had come from very basic research itself. So that had then further had taken time to get utilized in terms of diagnostic tool. So in similar terms, I think in other field, in all field, in several diverse field of biology or other aspects, both research, I think, equally are important. And yeah, importance to both, and progress in both the scenarios is required. So yeah.
And I think this is also one of the part when nowadays collaboration comes. They are sometimes as diverse as, you know,
Yes.
people coming from chemistry, from physics, from biology and engineering, coming together and developing those projects. This is something what have been witnessed in case of even COVID. And now a researcher should also be always open to see that there are dots, there are tools which are there. You need not to reinvent the wheel over and over again. Sometimes just you have to do those, just join those dots and you have your product ready.
Absolutely.
Sukanya, when you have now experienced almost half a decade of research, what are the future plans?
Oh, so right now, so as I earlier also said, that I had been hugely impacted by one of my biology teacher, and I had literally admired the way she used to teach. So I am quite interested in teaching, and I had since very early on thought that I can do for rest of my life. So that is definitely, it is already there. After completing my postdoc, I can directly go in academia and or in a more dedicated teaching discipline. But at the same time, right now, because I have come in such an environment where a lot of different opportunities will also be there in terms of industrial research and industrial job. So at the same time, I'm making myself right now open to gather information in that arena and see if that I would like. So these, I think, upcoming postdoc years will make me to further finalize what I will be doing, but it will certainly be either in teaching field or in research field. So
sweet. We wish you all the good luck wherever you want to go. So now at the we are walking towards the end of the conversation. One question, and this is not a question, this is just your view. Do you feel that you are a researcher celebrity?
Oh, okay. So I would say that celebrity, yes, but not in the typical or conventional sense, like a renowned figure, like a movie or a sports star, etc. But yeah, every researcher and PhD scholar's journey is filled with a variety of experiences that includes numerous hardships, highs, lows, sacrifices, thrilling moments, accomplishments, and contributions to the field. And I feel that every such story deserves a celebration and recognition. And I would say that sharing my own story on such a wonderful public forum which your team is providing, and knowing that it will reach to the aspiring and emerging students and scholars out there is certainly giving me this feeling of celebration, and as well as a sense of responsibility and being a celebrity. So yeah.
Thank you very much, Sukanya. And this is exactly the intent with which we celebrate every single researcher and come up with the idea of researcher celebrity. So you just mentioned the way we want. Thank you very much for understanding our intentions behind it. And Empowering Science Foundation do believe in breaking the barriers. We need more researchers like you who can understand and correlate it the way the mission of researcher celebrity brings. With this, we would like to say thank you for sharing your journey, your experiences with us, and motivating other young researchers.
Yeah, so thank you, Raja. And I also want to convey my congratulations and thank you to your entire team, to you for your wonderful effort. It is definitely useful and it is worthwhile to put out such stories so that upcoming generation or young minds would get inspired and would at least get the idea that how a researcher journey looks like, and whether they are suitable or they want to do or undertake this journey or not. So in that terms, I literally appreciate your effort. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Sukanya. And for all the viewers, with these kind words from Dr. Sukanya, we would like to tell you that you can write Dr. Sukanya if you want any guidance from her, or if you want to connect with us at Empowering Science Foundation. We are always there to give as much as whatever we can in our own capacity. You guys stay tuned for another episode of Researcher Celebrity. And with this, thank you very much, Sukanya.
Thank you.